Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today I'm starting my vlog for the Make Me Read Readathon. So if you have been here on my channel for the last month, I think, I'm sure you're aware of what this is. This is my Readathon. It's running from the 17th to the 30th of September. I'm co-hosting this round with Helen and Paige. And yes, so today is the 18th, so it started yesterday on Saturday. Today is Sunday, and I thought I would jump in and update you on where I've started with my reading. So I was gonna leave this until tomorrow because it's already like 5:30 and I was like, it's fine. But I think I'll tell you about the plan in a minute. For myself, this wasn't a rule, but I decided that in order to pick up that next book, I had to first finish the one above it, if that makes sense. So like I had to finish book 1 before I moved on to book 2. That is because I do tend to read multiple books at the one time. And if I started one, I know that I wouldn't necessarily finish it before the readathon if I didn't make myself finish it before starting the others. So my first one, which you could kind of see peeking out the background there, is Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which the white makes it incredibly hard to show you. But this is by Sue Lynn Tan. So I started this yesterday and I read the first part of it, which was almost 170 pages, and I thought that it would be a good point to stop and talk about it before I go into part 2. So far, this feels like a lot of fantasy that I've read before. It is, it takes place in a court. There's a scholarly aspect to it. There's a bit of magic. There is a prince, and that's not to say that I'm not enjoying it. It's really well written. I like the characters so far, and yeah, like I'm not loving it though, because I feel like I've read this before. But I'm just about to go into part 2, and it's just about to take a turn. I think it's finally going to get into the actual kind of action, the meaty part of the book. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing if I enjoy that part. And my goal is tonight to actually make it through the whole of part 2, which is why I've got these 2 bookmarks in at the moment. This is the start of part 2 and this is the start of part 3. Yeah, it's about 140 or so pages between them. I'm really bad at maths though, so that could be completely wrong. But it's around there, I think. And so that's my goal, is to read all of that tonight if I possibly can, and then hopefully finish off part 3, which is about the same amount tomorrow. And then I can hopefully move on to book 2. I think 3 days on this is a good amount, and if I have to do until Tuesday, that's fine, but I do want to get to the other books, so I'm not letting myself take too much time on this. I'm not pushing myself to finish it all in the one day, but I just want to make sure that I don't just put this down and read other things that aren't on my TBR, and then I don't read anything for this readathon at all. So that is the plan, and I think that's going to be okay. So yeah, I'm going to do that. As per usual, if you've watched my vlogs before, I've just made myself a cup of tea, and I'm going to sit here and read that, and I have a few other things that I might try and do tonight. I don't know, to sort of make sure that I have some time tomorrow to read as well, but we'll see. if I do manage to finish the book tomorrow and start the next one, I will come on and let you know, and if not, I will be on Tuesday morning to let you know what I thought of this one. I'm very excited because book 2 is Frostheart, so hopefully in a few days I'll be able to start that and really get the ball rolling and hopefully get through a few of these for the readathon. But I'll talk more about my plans once I finish this one. This, I think, is the biggest one that I have on my TBR, so thank you all so much for voting for that one first. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I am really looking forward to all of these books. So I will catch you all when this one is done. Hi friends, it is Wednesday morning now. I was gonna update you yesterday, and then I just didn't really feel like being on camera. I had class in the afternoon, and then yesterday evening I did sprints, so I just didn't really feel like jumping on and vlogging during the day, knowing that I would be on camera for pretty much like 4 hours straight, with a very small break in the middle for dinner. So yes, it's Wednesday. We're here with a Fletchy today, looking adorable. And yeah, I have some things to update you on. Monday night, I finished up Daughter of the Moon Goddess. So I didn't like this. I liked the writing. It is in that way it is a good book, but the plot is very there were some things that were just a bit like okay, it's how do I put this without spoiling things? The main character feels very much like a Mary Sue to me, because like basically everyone fell in love with her, and like yeah, there are some like people who didn't like her, like she had some enemies and things, but like there were people who like fell in love with her, like multiple people, and it's just like okay, but like yeah, it was not for me. Like I said, it's well written, but I just couldn't get past those aspects of the story to really enjoy it. And also there were just some moments that were just they felt very contrived. Obviously this is a fantasy, so it's not like, you know, like anything can happen, it's a fantasy, but they just felt like very like a little too convenient and just a bit out there at points of like, there is no point in the story that this seemed where this was going, and just like completely like, yeah. I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this, but it's hard to kind of say without spoiling stuff. But yeah, not for me. I gave this like, I think 3 stars. I don't know. I haven't written my review for this yet, but I think it should be out by the time this video is up. So I guess it depends when I put my words down. Yeah, I'm better at articulating myself when I'm writing, so I think that I don't know, my star rating might change depending on when I sit down and write it as to what comes out, basically. But yeah. And then yeah, last night on the sprints I read almost the whole book of Frostheart. I'd had, I think, like 30 or 40 pages left to go at the end of sprints, and I've since finished it, and I loved this. This was what I needed after kind of not really enjoying fantasy this month. This was just adorable and fun, and I probably should have just yeah, when I got in this fantasy slump, I should have just picked up a middle grade fantasy because they're always fun and just easy to read, and I really enjoyed this. It was really cute. I love the characters, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. So thank you to everyone who voted for this one because it was so cute and I really, really enjoyed it. And then this morning I started up my next one in those. This is A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting, which is my third book. I read the first 18 pages. I just read a little this morning, and then I had a video I wanted to film, and I've got some other stuff I need to do today, but I'm gonna jump back into this later on. I think maybe this afternoon or this evening. So it's Wednesday, but it is also essentially the end of the week. Here in the whole of Australia has a public holiday on Thursday for the Queen's passing. And then here in Victoria, we also already had a public holiday on Friday, which is for Grand Final Eve. Yeah. It's literally like a public holiday for a sport we play here called AFL, Aussie football. And I've never been a follower, so it's kind of ridiculous to me, but we have a 4-day weekend, so I may come in on Saturday and update you, but I'm going to be spending the entire weekend with my partner. I don't really like to vlog when he's here because I get embarrassed. I get embarrassed having to film when he's here because he just stares at me and it just makes me go all shy. So yeah, but I think he's got some stuff to do on Saturday, so I will probably have a couple of hours to myself, so I will come on and update you. I'm hoping that I can finish this. I feel like I might be able to finish this tonight. Honestly, we have one thing we're doing tomorrow, and then we're probably not going to do anything else for the rest of the weekend except for sit on this couch with the boys and read and drink copious amounts of tea, which is what we do every weekend basically. So yeah, I don't know, this is pretty short and it is a historical romance, so it should be relatively quick to get through. And then the next one I have is Song of Wraiths and Ruin, which is obviously it's a fantasy again, and it's relatively big. I think it's about 500 pages, so I would like to be able to get through this one and that one this weekend, and if I could get to the next one, which is Defy the Night, that would be fantastic, because that was my kind of goal for the whole readathon, was to get to that book. So if I could manage to do these two over this weekend, that would be amazing, and I would still have a few days to read Defy the Night and maybe some of the others. So that's that. But for now, I should get back to doing the stuff I need to. Got some Facebook posts I have to do for work, and yeah, I'm also starving, so I think I'm going to make myself some lunch. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you all maybe on Saturday, or maybe Sunday afternoon, or maybe even Monday, but I'll see you all then. Hi everyone, it's actually been more than a week since I updated you, and it is Friday the 30th today, which means it's the end of the readathon. So basically there was the extended long weekend here in Victoria. That was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday last week. And yeah, I did some reading, but not a lot. And then this week, I really didn't feel like being on camera. I had sprints on Wednesday, and yeah, I didn't feel like being on camera. Also, didn't really have a lot to update you on. So, yes, basically, I kind of gave up halfway through this readathon, and I know it's my own readathon and I was super excited for it, but I was not enjoying my books, so that definitely put a damper on the situation. So yeah, I ended up finishing the readathon having read 3 books, 3.5 books really. So yeah, obviously I've talked about these 2 already, and then I think it was either Friday night or Saturday night I did finish A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting. I thought that I would finish this on Wednesday night, but I really didn't enjoy this one either. I feel like this is very much a historical romance in the way that Jane Austen's works are historical romance, in that they are historical and there is romance, but they're not smutty, basically. This was a clean romance. I didn't know that going in, and I don't know. It was funny. I enjoyed the humor, but it was also at times a bit ridiculous, and it was very, I don't know, very casual with the romance. Much like in an Austen, where it's sort of like towards the end you get the romance part, and there wasn't really a lot of like pining or anything, which is what I like in historical romances. So this just wasn't what I was after. But I did read the whole thing. I did consider DNFing it, but I wanted to, yeah. I was like, it's not that long. I'll just push through it. So that was that. And then when it came to picking up the next book, that was meant to be A Song of Race and Ruin. And I just felt like if I picked this up then, I would have hated it. Like I wouldn't have enjoyed any of it. And because it is on the bigger side, I didn't want to do that. It's also one that I really want to enjoy. It sounds fantastic. I've heard fantastic things about it, so I didn't want to push myself to read it and then end up hating it with, you know, thinking that this could be one that I would really enjoy otherwise. So I went on to Defy the Night because this was one that I really, really wanted to get to in the readathon, and as you can see, I still have a bookmark in it. I started it on the Saturday, and yeah, it's now Friday and I haven't really read any of it. So I'm on page 96. I've just been reading other things this week. I haven't really felt like reading this, so I mean, that sucks, but it is what it is. And you know, like, I don't feel too bad that I didn't read all the books that I had put in, because I could have pushed myself and I could have ended up hating them. So I think it's better that I read 3 and I loved one of them, rather than, you know, getting through 6 and still only really liking Frostheart. So there's that. I was going to talk about 2 more books from that TBR that I'm hoping to read as well as Defy the Night. Like, I'm hoping to finish that in the next few days. But I ended up slipping them onto a TBR for a readathon next month. So, or I guess this month when you're seeing this. So I'm not going to talk about those until that TBR video is out. But yeah, that's the end of the readathon. I just wanted to take a minute to thank Paige and Helen for co-hosting with me, and everyone who joined in, whether you made polls or read, or whether you just voted on other people's polls and cheered everyone along. Thank you so much for joining in. It really means a lot. I am hoping to do another round of this at some point. I don't think it's going to be like a annual one, but more of like a every few months when I feel like it. I might do some like shorter rounds and things like that. So I hope you all enjoyed yourselves and that you would consider joining in again. I've not been feeling that great today, so I'm gonna go curl up and do what I've been doing pretty much the whole rest of the week, because I haven't been feeling that great at all this week, and that is rewatch Buffy. I have no regrets. But I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.